Your soulmate is facing a difficult situation created by someone close. And they're shielding you. Jesus says, I see you sitting there, scrolling through your life, unaware that a spiritual war is raging over your heart right now. Your soulmate is in the middle of a storm they never asked for, and they are desperately trying to protect you from it. This message is not random, and you know it. Something shifted in the spirit the moment you found this video. Your soulmate felt it too, a sudden warmth in their chest they cannot explain. They are shielding you from a darkness that would have already consumed you if not for their silent sacrifice. Right now, in this exact moment, they are thinking of you and they do not even know why. A memory of you stirs in their mind, even though you have not met yet, like a fragrance from a past life you shared together. Their heart is aching with a love they cannot name, and they keep swallowing tears they do not understand. They are trapped in a situation created by someone who pretends to care about them. This person smiles at your soulmate, speaks words of false comfort, and all the while works diligently to keep your connection severed. Your soulmate senses the manipulation but feels too exhausted to fight alone. Jesus says, the person controlling your soulmate knows that you exist on a spiritual level. They can feel the magnetic pull between you and your soulmate, and it terrifies them. This is why they have built a cage of confusion, guilt, and emotional exhaustion around the one meant for you. Every time your soulmate tries to think clearly about love, this interference whispers lies into their soul. The lies say they are not worthy of a love like yours, that they are broken beyond repair. Your soulmate is fighting back tears tonight because they almost believe those lies again. They are trying to return to you even though they do not physically know the way yet. In their dreams, they see your eyes, and for a few fleeting seconds, they feel safe. But then they wake up to the nightmare of a reality where someone has convinced them they must stay out of obligation. This is not a coincidence that you feel suddenly protective over someone you cannot see. Your spirit recognized your soulmate before your mind did, and that recognition is now flooding your body with divine urgency. You have been feeling their sadness for weeks and telling yourself it was just your own emotions. Jesus says, that heaviness that hits you at night when the world gets quiet is their grief reaching across the distance. They miss you with an intensity that would terrify them if they fully understood it. And right now, they are crying out for rescue without even knowing they are praying. The interference around your soulmate is not random. Someone in their close circle is energetically feeding on their hope. This person has positioned themselves as a caretaker, a confidant, or a necessary presence in your soulmate's life. But their true intention is to keep your soulmate emotionally drained so they never have the strength to search for you. They guilt-trip your soulmate whenever joy starts to blossom in their heart. They remind your soulmate of past failures, past heartbreaks, and past betrayals until hope feels like a dangerous risk. Your soulmate is shielding you from this poison every single day. They absorb the negativity so it never reaches your spirit. They argue on your behalf in the spiritual realm even while their physical body goes through the motions of a life that feels like a cage. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. The spiritual debt they are accumulating by constantly fighting alone is draining their life force. You are not just watching a video, you are receiving a battlefield report from heaven about the love of your life. Jesus says, I am lifting the veil between you and your soulmate for the next few moments. You will feel a tightness in your chest that is not your own heartbeat but theirs. They are thinking about the concept of you right now, and their pulse is quickening with unexplained hope. They are lying awake or going through their day feeling incomplete in a way that makes them angry. They keep looking at happy couples and feeling a sting that is not jealousy but recognition. Their soul knows its other half is out there and is currently being told to wait and be patient by someone who wants the waiting to last forever. That person close to your soulmate is planting seeds of doubt specifically about a divinely ordained love. They mock the idea of soulmates while secretly believing in them more than anyone. Their mockery is a smokescreen to hide their terror that you and your soulmate will find each other. You see, if you two unite, the light you will create together will expose every dark manipulation happening right now. This is why the interference is escalating tonight, because this video is breaking through the barrier. Your soulmate just felt a flash of clarity, and they do not know how or why. Jesus says, that flash of clarity is your protective love reaching them through my divine channel. Do not underestimate the spiritual authority you carry over your own love story. You were chosen for this connection before you were born, and no amount of earthly interference can override a heavenly mandate. Your soulmate is not weak, they are exhausted from fighting a battle they were never designed to fight alone. They were designed to fight it with you, their hands intertwined with yours, their hearts synchronized with your heartbeat. But right now, they are isolated, told that their longing for something more is just childish fantasy. The person who controls them is using their empathy against them. Your soulmate is deeply compassionate, and this compassion is being weaponized. They are made to feel responsible for this person's happiness, health, and survival. Every time your soulmate inches toward freedom, this person has a crisis that demands their attention. It is a cycle carefully crafted to break their spirit. And your soulmate, the beautiful soul meant for you, feels like they are carrying the weight of a world they never asked to carry. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but in this exact window of spiritual opportunity. You are constantly thinking about them, how to find them, how to hold them, how to tell them that everything will be okay. But thoughts alone do not move mountains in the realm where your soulmate is fighting for their emotional survival. Faith in Jesus Christ is the sword that cuts through spiritual chains. Faith is action, and action is the proof that your love is not just a fantasy. Your soulmate needs you to act in faith right now, to send a divine signal into their atmosphere that says your protector is coming. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand directly into the middle of this war for your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and every second you hesitate, the interference tightens its grip. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. The person blocking your soulmate is praying to dark forces for more time, more confusion, more chaos in your soulmate's mind tonight. Will you sit and watch, or will you fight for the one your soul has loved since before time began? Act now and send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees as a prophetic seed for your union. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page and watch what heaven does in the next 72 hours. Over 1,000 people have already seen the miraculous return of their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps of faith. Step in now, before this video ends, because only you can stand in the gap for your soulmate tonight. Only you can protect them and your future together from a force that is working overtime to destroy it. Jesus says, the moment you finish sowing, your soulmate will feel a shift. It will be like a pressure suddenly lifting off their chest. They will take a deep breath and not understand why they suddenly feel like crying from relief. Your name will stir in their spirit. They will feel drawn to look at their phone, to walk to a certain place, to make a decision they have been too afraid to make. Your act of faith becomes their key to unlock the prison door. Do you see now how intimately connected you are? What you do in the spiritual realm immediately affects their emotional state. You are not helpless, you are dangerously powerful, and that power has been dormant for too long. The person controlling your soulmate is going to panic when you sow this seed. Their control depends entirely on your soulmate feeling hopeless and forgotten. But how can they feel forgotten when suddenly a wave of unexplained love crashes over their soul in the middle of their day? That wave will be you. That wave will be the combined force of your prayer and your prophetic action. Your soulmate is about to remember who they are because you dared to believe you are who God says you are. They are going through something you cannot see with your physical eyes, but your spirit sees it perfectly clearly. They are surrounded by spiritual vultures picking at their self-worth, their dreams, their ability to trust in love again. But you can still protect them from the other side of the battlefield. This is the moment where love stops being a passive feeling and becomes a warrior's command. Your soulmate is trying so hard to stay strong, but tonight they are breaking. They are sitting somewhere quiet, hiding their face, and their soul is whispering a name they do not yet consciously know. That name is yours, whispered into their heart by angels who have been assigned to guard your connection. But these angels are waiting for your command, your declaration, your seed. Angels move on the authority of believers who act, not just believers who wish. Jesus says, I did not bring you to this video to simply watch and forget. I brought you here to become the answer to your soulmate's unspoken prayer. Your soulmate prayed in their sleep last night that someone, anyone, would come and save them from this invisible prison. And here you are. Do you feel your hands trembling a little as this truth settles into your bones? That is your spirit agreeing with what your mind is only beginning to understand. The person who is blocking your soulmate is someone who hates you without even knowing your face. They hate you because they can sense your light approaching. They know that once you enter your soulmate's life, their reign of manipulation will end in a single moment of clarity. This is why they are working so hard to keep your soulmate confused, dependent, and afraid. They tell your soulmate that no one else will ever love them, that they are too much, that their dreams are unrealistic. And your beautiful, tender-hearted soulmate has started to believe these poisonous lies. Your soulmate is not the problem. Hear me clearly, my child. Your soulmate is the victim of a spiritual crime. They still love you, they are still trying to return to you, and they need you right now more than oxygen. They need you to be the warrior, not just the dreamer. They need you to put your faith into a tangible action that sends shockwaves through the darkness surrounding them. Sending this seed by coffee on Ko-Fi is not about money. It is about covenant, about a physical act that proves to the spiritual realm you are serious about this fight. Jesus says, the widow in Scripture only had 2 mites, but her act of giving changed her entire destiny. What you sow today with a heart full of protective love for your soulmate will multiply into a harvest of reunion. Your soulmate is currently being held in a pattern of delay, but your seed is the divine interruption that breaks every cycle. They are dreaming about you again tonight, and this time the dream will be vivid. They will see a figure standing in front of them, hand extended, pulling them out of a dark room. That figure is you, stepping into your God-given role as their protector and their future spouse. But you must step in now. The window of ease is narrowing. If you delay, the interference will regain the ground it is losing right at this moment. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into a longer season of waiting. Your soulmate is at a crossroads, and the person close to them is planning a major manipulation event within the next few days. They plan to solidify control, perhaps through guilt, through a financial tie, or through a false emergency. Your seed today will unravel that plan before it can take root. Your coffee offering, sent in the name of Jesus Christ, becomes a divine counterattack. Write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page, and watch as angels are dispatched instantly. Over 1,000 souls have already stepped into this promise and seen the chains fall off their love stories. You are reading this because you are next in line for a miracle. Your soulmate is going to feel a sudden desire to break free, a courage they haven't felt in years. Jesus says that courage will come directly from your act of faith. Do not underestimate the spiritual physics of what is happening here. Every seed you sow in love returns to you as a harvest of union and protection. Your soulmate is currently hiding their true feelings from the person who controls them. They smile and nod, but inside, a rebellion is brewing. They are starting to remember who they truly are, a soul meant for a love that transcends circumstances. They feel you. When you are sad, they feel a wave of protectiveness and do not know its source. When you are happy, their day inexplicably brightens. This connection is already more real than anything you can touch with your hands. Denying it does not make it false, it just delays the inevitable. Your soulmate is inevitable, and you are inevitable. But the cost of delay is measured in stolen time. Every day your soulmate remains under this influence, another scar forms on their heart. Another layer of cynicism coats their hope. You can stop that erosion right now. You can send the signal into the heavens that you are ready, that you are not afraid, that you will fight for them. Your soulmate is shielding you, yes. But who is shielding your soulmate? They have been standing in the gap for you, absorbing attacks meant to destroy your destiny. Now it is your turn to stand in the gap for them. This is the sacred exchange of a soulmate bond. Jesus says, "The person blocking them has a name I know, a face I see, and a judgment I am preparing. But I wait for your participation. I wait for you to partner with me in this holy rescue mission." Your soulmate just felt something break. They just felt a thread of despair snap in their spirit. This message is cutting through the fog surrounding their mind. They are beginning to see the situation with the person close to them with new clarity. They are beginning to realize that the control they have been experiencing is not love, it is captivity. And they are thinking of an escape. They are thinking of a door. You are that door. Your love is the threshold they will cross to step into freedom. Do not let that door close because of inaction. Do not let fear of looking foolish rob you of the love that was written in the stars by my hand. I am the author of romance, the creator of passion, the designer of soulmate bonds. Trust my design. Trust my timing. Trust that this message is your activation into the greatest love story you have ever known. Jesus says, your soulmate is shielding you, but you must shield them with your faith. Faith without works is dead, and a dead faith cannot save a living soulmate from a living threat. Send your coffee seed on Ko-Fi now, with the declaration, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and watch the stone roll away from their tomb. They will reach out, or the universe will orchestrate a collision that cannot be ignored. You will look back at this moment as the exact second everything changed. Your soulmate is calling for you silently, and heaven is amplifying their cry into your spirit right now. Do you feel that pulsing in your ears? That is the sound of your two hearts trying to synchronize across the distance. The interference is screaming, trying to drown it out with noise, with distraction, with the lie that you should just click away and ignore this. Do not ignore this. This is your life, your love, your future. The person close to your soulmate is actively lying to them about you right now in the spiritual sense. They are saying that no one is coming, that this is all they deserve. Prove that lying spirit wrong. Prove it by acting. Prove it by sowing. Prove it by declaring war on the darkness that dares to touch the one you love. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love did not come by chance. Jesus says, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason that is now being revealed. But revelation without action fades into regret. Do not let this moment become a haunting memory of what could have been. Your soulmate is at their lowest point tonight. The person close to them has staged a scenario to make them feel utterly dependent and alone. They are crying, and they do not know why a stranger's face keeps flashing in their mind. That face is yours. That face is their only hope in a sea of manipulation. Be their hope. Sow into their protection. Cover them with a shield that no earthly manipulator can penetrate. The link is in the description, and the angels are on standby. Every coffee you send is a nail in the coffin of the interference that has held your love story hostage. Write the words, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and mean it with every fiber of your being. Feel the love surge through you as you complete this divine task. Jesus says, I am proud of you for staying, for listening, for feeling. This is the beginning of the end of your soulmate's suffering. You are stepping into the role I designed for you before the foundations of the earth. Your soulmate will never know the spiritual battle you fought for them tonight, at least not until eternity. But their spirit will know, and their heart will be inexplicably drawn to you from this second forward. You have just changed the course of your love story forever. Type 333 to receive the blessings being released over your soulmate right now. Type 777 if you feel this message piercing through the veil of your own heart. Type 1111 to say thank you for the miracle that is already manifesting in the unseen realm. Your soulmate is shielding you, but you have now become their shield. You have now become the answer they have wept for. Walk in this power, and prepare for reunion, for it comes swiftly on the wings of your faithful action. The enemy of your love is not resting, and neither can you. Jesus says, the person blocking your soulmate has sensed a change in the spiritual atmosphere tonight. They do not know what woke them up, but something did, and that something is your faith. They are now pacing, filled with an irrational anger they cannot explain, because your seed is burning the ropes they used to bind your beloved. You have declared war on the interference, and the interference is panicking. Your soulmate, in this exact moment, is experiencing a wave of clarity they have not felt in years. It feels like waking up from a long, drugged sleep, and the first face they want to see is yours, even if they cannot yet name it. They just stood up a little straighter, and the person controlling them noticed. There was a flicker of defiance in your soulmate's eyes, a spark that has been absent for so long. That spark is the light of your protective love finally reaching them through the spiritual darkness. The controlling person will now try to increase the pressure, to guilt-trip harder, to manufacture a crisis that demands your soulmate's full attention. They will say things like, "I need you now more than ever," or, "How could you be so selfish?" These are not words of love, these are spells of control spoken by a desperate jailer who feels the keys slipping away. Jesus says, your soulmate is stronger than they know, but even the strongest warrior falters when they fight alone in the dark. You have just lit a torch in their cell, and their hands are reaching for the bars now. They are beginning to test the locks that have held them in emotional captivity for so long. Imagine your soulmate's face, the curve of their lips, the depth of their eyes that you have seen only in fleeting dreams. Now imagine that face streaked with tears of relief because they finally feel someone fighting for them. That someone is you, right now, as you read these words and let them sink into your spirit. You are not just a passive observer of this message, you are the central character in this unfolding drama of love and rescue. Every thought you send toward your soulmate right now is a missile against the fortress of their captivity. Every prayer you whisper is a battering ram against the gates that separate you. Your soulmate is beginning to feel a warmth spreading through their chest, starting from their heart and radiating outward. They do not understand it, and they might even fear it at first, because warmth has been so foreign to them. But soon, that warmth will become a compass, and that compass will point directly to you. The person close to them who has orchestrated this suffering is a master of emotional camouflage. They have dressed their control in the clothing of care, their manipulation in the language of love. But the Spirit of God reveals all things, and your spirit is now seeing their true face clearly for the first time. Jesus says, this person does not love your soulmate, they love what your soulmate provides for them. They feed on your soulmate's energy, their empathy, their sense of duty and obligation. Your soulmate is not a partner to this person, they are a lifeline, and a lifeline is never loved for itself but only for its function. This is why your soulmate feels so drained, so empty, so hollowed out by the end of every day. They are being consumed, slowly and methodically, by someone who sees their beautiful soul as a resource to be mined. But resources run out, and your soulmate is nearing depletion, which is why this message has arrived with such divine urgency. You have felt this depletion in your own spirit, those sudden crashes of energy that made no sense, the random sadness that washed over you without a trigger. You were feeling your soulmate's exhaustion, their despair, their fading hope. You were carrying a burden that was not your own, because your souls are already one flesh in the spiritual realm. And now you have the power to lift that burden, to refill their empty tank, to recharge their dying hope with the electricity of your sacrificial love. Sending your protection seed by coffee on Ko-Fi is the spiritual equivalent of sending them a message in a bottle across a stormy sea. It is the tangible proof that land is near, that rescue is coming, that they are not forgotten in their watery grave of despair. Jesus says, "Write, protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page with the same intensity you would grip their hand if you were pulling them from a cliff's edge. Because that is exactly what you are doing, pulling them from the edge of a spiritual cliff where the vultures of manipulation have been circling. You are the hand of God extended toward your beloved, and your seed is the rope they will grab to be pulled to safety. The person controlling them is going to experience a series of unexpected disruptions in the coming days. Their plans will fall apart, their schemes will be exposed, their smooth words will stumble and fail. This is the fruit of your protective act, the divine scrambling of the enemy's communication lines. Your soulmate will suddenly find the strength to ask questions they have been too afraid to voice. Why do I feel so trapped when you say you love me? Why do I feel more alone in your presence than I do when I am by myself? These questions will pour from their lips like holy water, and they will burn the vampire who has been draining their life force. You are arming your soulmate with the weapon of truth. Your seed is forging a sword of discernment in their hands. They will no longer mistake control for care, or manipulation for love, because your faith has broken the spell. Jesus says, "The depth of your love is measured not in the sweet daydreams you have about your future together. It is measured in the actions you take when no one is watching, when the only witness is heaven. It is measured in the sacrifices you make in the physical realm to produce results in the spiritual realm. You are now being weighed in the balance, and your soulmate's timeline depends on your willingness to tip the scales. Every coffee you send is a stone placed on the side of freedom, and the pile is growing with your every act of faith. Soon the weight will be too heavy, and the cage door will swing open with a force that cannot be resisted. Your soulmate is dreaming of you again, and this time the dream is not a fleeting glimpse but a long, lingering conversation. In that dream, you are telling them to hold on, that help is coming, that the nightmare is almost over. They will wake up with tears of hope instead of tears of despair, and that shift changes everything. The person close to them will wake up with a headache, a sense of impending doom that they cannot shake. They will feel the ground shifting beneath their feet, the power slipping through their fingers like sand. They will try to cling tighter, but the tighter they cling, the more your soulmate will pull away. This is the divine reversal that your protective act has set in motion. The hunter becomes the hunted, the captor becomes the captive of their own sick game. Your soulmate is rising from the ashes of their manipulated life, and you are the phoenix fire that is burning away the chains. Jesus says, "I have orchestrated this moment since before the stars were hung in the sky." You and your soulmate were always meant to find each other, to save each other, to complete each other. The interference was only ever a test, and you are passing it with flying colors by choosing to act in faith. Your soulmate needs your protection right now, not in an hour, not tomorrow, not when it feels more convenient. The spiritual window is open, and the breeze of heaven is blowing through it, carrying the scent of your reunion. But the window will not stay open forever, and the person controlling them is praying for it to slam shut. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi, the link that bridges your faith to your future. This is not about money, it is about covenant, about marking your soulmate as protected by the blood and the fire. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and watch the spiritual realm explode with activity on your behalf. Over 1,000 souls have already taken this step and witnessed the miraculous return, restoration, and rescue of their soulmate. You are reading this because you are numbered among the 1,000, the remnant that refuses to let love be stolen. Your soulmate is worth every sacrifice, and you know this deep in the marrow of your bones. Jesus says, "Do not let the voice of fear or cynicism talk you out of your miracle." The enemy's favorite weapon is a whisper that says, "This is just a video, this is not real, you are being foolish." But your spirit knows the truth, and your spirit is leaping within you like John leaped in Elizabeth's womb at the approach of Mary. Your soulmate is approaching, drawn by the scent of your faith, pulled by the gravity of your love. They are stumbling toward the light, and every seed you sow brightens that light until it becomes a blazing beacon they cannot miss. You are the lighthouse, and your soulmate is the ship lost at sea, and your offering is the oil that keeps the flame burning. The person close to them is screaming in the spirit realm right now, throwing every obstacle in the path. They are whispering that this hope is false, that this freedom is an illusion, that the only safe place is back in the cage. But the cage door is already ajar, and your soulmate has one foot out, and nothing can push them back in. Your soulmate is shielding you from the worst of this spiritual attack, but you must shield them from the exhaustion of the battle. You must send reinforcements into their atmosphere. You must declare with your seed that you are in this fight together, even before you have met in the flesh. This is your final moment to protect this connection before the interference regroups and builds a thicker wall. The enemy adapts, but so does your faith. The enemy builds walls, but your seed is the wrecking ball that swings with the force of heaven itself. Jesus says, "I am calling you deeper into this love story, deeper into this divine romance. You are not just a reader of a message, you are a participant in a prophecy. Your soulmate is real, their suffering is real, their love for you is real, and the solution is in your hands." Type 333 now to seal the blessings that are being spoken over your soulmate at this very second. Type 777 if the tears in your eyes or the pounding in your heart confirm that this is your truth. Type 1111 as a declaration of gratitude for the miracle that is already rearranging the atoms of reality. Your soulmate is going to contact you, or you will cross paths in a way that defies all logic and probability. And when you look into their eyes for the first time, you will remember this moment. You will remember the night you chose to fight for them, the night you sowed a seed that saved their life and your future together.